Really? Unprinting is the solution. So, take this office. The open plan, very much like the office I used to work in at Prudential and Shell before that. And among a number of colleagues, you share a number of printers. Say 20 employees, one printer. I am on a mission to get an unprinter right next to every printer. And of course, as a good CEO of a startup, I'm going to impress you now with a big number. The UK market is worth £500 million, and the US $3 billion. So, every printer will have an unprinter. You fill it with the paper you no longer need. We wipe off the print. You simply put the paper into the printer, and that's it. Job done. Our technology uses laser, which is fundamentally what this projector is doing, and it doesn't work very well, does it? So laser shoots the print off the paper. It works on every color as long as it's laser printed or photocopied. You don't need any special equipment, doesn't matter which color, and you can do it several times per sheet of paper. We've patented the first bit of the technology, and we've got a zillion other things we are going to patent around this. Now, if this is such a great idea, why isn't it there already? Well, the machine I showed you earlier is in fact from the competition. Csaba made the RD30. The problem with the RD30 is you need to buy a special printer first that requires special ink that is 3 times more expensive than toner. And here's the best bit, you can only print in blue. Who wants that? Our technology can deal with any colors from any machine, and it really doesn't matter. Final point, if you use the RD30, you can actually still read what it said there previously. Laser is kind of tough, so it's really gone. Now, we're going to build unprinters for big paper-intensive organizations. That doesn't mean you will never see an unprinter in your house, but that's not the priority. We'll make a standalone machine first, and then we build it into big printers, so we license it to manufacturers. We may go direct, but indirect is probably the way for volumes. We've got a kick-ass team, I'll be short about this. 2 Cambridge PhDs, a Harvard MBA, blue chip experience, product design, product development, we've got it. We're currently raising £800,000, of which the first 300 has been committed. This will see us through approximately 2 years, at which point I'm going to need more cash, so we can actually start building the machine on scale. Then in 3 to 5 years, hopefully, we'll find an interesting exit opportunity. My name is Csaba, so I've been speaking to you about the unprinter, which, as you can tell, gets me very excited, and I hope it got you excited. Thank you very much.
That was a really, really nice presentation. I'm curious what you think might be some of the challenges to adoption. I can certainly see reasons that customers may adopt it, and as you mentioned, you've gotten a lot of interest in that. What do you think some of the challenges might be for them to adopt it?
Yeah, we think there's 2 things really. First is price, because big companies, they have processes and procedures around procurement, and it's all about driving down price. Now, fundamentally, we believe that unprinting is cheaper than buying new paper, so that business case will be easy enough. The second thing is workflow. If there's one thing you don't want to do in a big office plan, it's to change the way people have to do things. So if you fundamentally have to, for example, move all the paper down to the basement, where it gets unprinted and then redistributed through the building, that's going to be a no-go. If we can put something right next to the printer, that is already a little bit annoying, if we're honest. But, you've got to start somewhere. So the workflow is really the #1 concern. On top of that, and somewhat related, is behavior. So when paper recycling was first introduced in office environments, probably mid-80s, people said, why do I recycle my paper? I've got a waste basket here under my desk. I don't want to walk to the table. I can't be bothered. So behavior change takes time, but we've got the benefit that people are thinking really these days. They're already in their mindset figuring out what they can do.
I've got a feeling that about 12 years ago I was in our TV lab and we were playing around with e-paper and e-ink, and you can see e-ink and Kindles all over the world now. I wonder if this is really a sunset industry actually, because when paper comes in a way that's completely flexible and you sort of shake it to wipe it, what happens to your last century technology and your whole business? Doesn't it just fall apart?
Yeah,
maybe. What threat do you see to your business?
From the digital Yeah, no, there's something around holding paper. If you just look at your desk, you can see, you print stuff, you want to highlight it, you want to hold it. I love my Kindle, don't get me wrong, but there's something around holding my book. And there's a similar thing going on within the office environment. Do I feel threatened by e-paper? No. In fact, our chairman was founder and CEO of Plastic Logic. Well, you know how much money they've poured into this technology. And I'm still not seeing it on your desk. So I'm not too worried about it.
And just building on that. So because it's an early stage company, there weren't any financials, we've got a great team. What I'm really wanting to explore a little bit with you, have you got somebody who really understands the finance side? And in particular, have you looked at a range of different business models? Because imagine if this is like JVC, one of these things from many years ago when you were born, when we had VHS and videos and all this stuff. How might you be an ARM type company that wants to license your technology all over the world rather than build it yourself? How have you decided what's the right business model for your company?
So when we started this thing, we said, so the research all comes from a CO2 angle, right? What can we do with paper, CO2 great. So we said, what's the biggest impact we can have? So we said, yeah, it's going to be in the basement. Or in fact, we'll come and collect your paper in our little electric vans. We'll take it offsite, we'll unprint it, we'll take it for free, because recycling costs money. That was our first business model. I'll come to you, take the paper away for free, don't worry about it, I'll take it. I unprint it, turn it into value, repackage it, and sell it back to you. If you start to look into, the logistics of that, it is, my head starts spinning just thinking about it. Another model we've considered is the basement example. We have also been approached by companies who do some very niche application of using unprintings. For example, a company that makes long stretches of print and the machine wobbles a bit. They make a mistake, have to throw away tons. That's pretty neat, and I'm sure there might be some value there, but we really want to make a difference. So that's why we're going for this particular angle. Now, the standalone machine is definitely the way towards integrating it into a printer, because I don't think long-term you'll have standalone printers. So if we'll end up as an ARM, or are we becoming Dyson, who never sold out to make amazing products? The future will tell.
All my presentations, and we're going to move on to the next phase. But before we do, I just want to take a minute. I would like to have a round of applause